Yo, what's good, YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoop, back with some more Pokemon Draft League content. We've got the Ninamori Nation Draft League, and we've got another live match. Caught a week six match, I believe, and now I think this is a week 7 match. Perhaps another week 6 match. Let me double check on that. This is a week 6 match, so that's fantastic. And like I mentioned, Andy versus Corey. Andy, aka LG YouTube, coach of the St. Louis Carbinks, taking on Corey, aka Munchlaxus, coach of the San Diego Snorlax. So, very, very threatening squads. Each got one of the Mega Laddies, very scary. Corey having the Celesteela, Ash Greninja, Mammal Swine, Florges squad, very, very potent. And then Andy's got some potent breakers as well as some potent setup mons such as Volcarona, which in my opinion is the scariest Pokemon in the format. So, back to the game here. We've got a Serena lead versus a Mienshao lead. Now, I'm not sure what the Serena lead was for. Perhaps expecting... Actually, I have no idea why you would lead with Serena, unless you expected an Empoleon or Tyranitar lead. So this Mienshao is just going to U-turn out, probably going out into the Volcarona, perhaps the Lottie. I could see a U-turn from the Serena as well, which could bop the Lottie, so maybe that thing doesn't come in. And it would also give him a lot of momentum into things like Greninja. Greninja's looking like a huge threat. Semi-checks would be something like Assault Vest Mienshao, especially defensive Sylveon, especially defensive Empoleon as well. And of course, with the Mega Latios and the Tyranitar, you can't necessarily lock yourself into Dark Pulse because of the Tyranitar, or Hydro Pump because of the Mega Latios here. So he does go for the Toxic, predicting anything except the Empoleon to come in, I suppose, and does catch the Mega Latios upon switch in here. And now, can U-turn out? Could Synthesis up as well? I don't think you would stay in because of the chance of Draco Meteor just doing a lot. I believe switching into Celesteela or Florges was the play, and Andy's going to make a double switch out into his Volcarona, not expecting the double Toxic from the Serena. However, gets matched up against the Florges, decides to switch out into his Empoleon, pretty much going to guarantee him rocks, at least going up with the Empoleon here. As the Florges tanks the Flash Cannon, does less than half and gets a Wish off. So it'd be interesting to see what the Empoleon does here on this turn. I would expect maybe a Protect here from the Florges so that it guarantees back at full health and can switch in later versus things like the Mega Latios, Tyranitar, and Mienshao. And if it's especially bulky enough, perhaps can take on Volcarona. So yeah, he does throw off the Protect there as the Flash Cannon comes out once again. And now, if this thing has rocks, I do expect Empoleon to go for rocks on this turn. He may not have rocks though. And what switches into Flash Cannon at this point? Greninja does, but doesn't do much back. Celesteela does, but again, doesn't do much back. And, Andy goes for the Scald here and gets the burn. Rewarded for a good play there. I'm expecting the Florges to switch out. Goes for the Scald and is able to get a nice chunk of damage off, plus the burn, which is going to negate any kind of leftovers recovery and things like that. This thing perhaps has Leech Seed as well, which could be problematic. Not problematic, but very much annoying. I do think Andy has the tools to break Celesteela pretty comfortably with things like offensive Mienshao, Volcarona, offensive Tyranitar, especially something like Choice Band or Life Orb Tyranitar, which I don't necessarily see being a bring to this match, but can definitely have some kind of value. So he goes for the lead seed here. I do think what I think is going to happen here, I think Andy's going to pull a switch out. And I think on the switch, I believe Corey is going to throw off a second lead seed. But it's really risky for Corey, but I feel like Corey's behind already, so he needs to kind of make these plays. And it's risky because if Andy goes for the Scald once again, then it puts Celesteela at a really, really, really weakened position to where I think the second Scald, even after a Protect, would knock him out. Maybe Lead Seed pulls him just out of range, but otherwise I think Scald was doing close to 30%, would leave him close to 20%. Lead Seed, yeah, it would have been close. Either way, both players pull a switch out. Andy going into his Volcarona and Corey pulling a switch out into his Florges. Very, very nice. On both players' part there. Again, Corey expecting Empoleon to do anything except go for the Flash Cannon on there. Could easily tank a Scald, so I could understand that play. So Andy goes for the Scald again, but this time it's Cold Water. I'm going to be trying to pass a Wish into the Celesteela, I assume. Wanting it to take perhaps a Flash Cannon and then be able to recover back up. So it does catch the Wish here as Andy pulls a switch into his Volcarona, but now going to be able to throw off a Fire type attack. And I'm not sure, but I did not see leftovers on Celesteela just then. It was one of the first turns that I was actually paying attention, and I don't think I actually saw leftovers. So this thing could be Octoberry, this thing could be a potential Z-move user. Let me just double check on that and see if it's even eligible for Z-moves. It is not. It is not eligible for Z-moves. Is Volcarona eligible for Z-moves? It is not either. So Tyranitar and Mienshao being the Z-move users here, and Volcarona not being one. So go straight for the Quiver Dance. Florges can tank, but can it take two? Can it take two? Volcarona is pretty powerful. And if this thing has something like Substitute, it's game. If Volcarona reveals Substitute here, it's game. Period. Point blank period. Sub, Quiver, Bug Buzz, and Flamethrower. That's all you need. But again, you would like maybe Roost, so maybe Sub is a little bit less optimal. Dang, Volcarona is so strong. So the question is, do you Quiver Dance up once more on a Protect here, or do you just knock this Florges out? Because if he goes for Wish on the turn that you quivered, it could be problematic. So I think you just net your knockout here. I don't think there's a reason to click anything other than Flamethrower, unless Bug Buzz knocks out, and then Bug Buzz is actually the play. But I don't, Bug Buzz, Flamethrower being non-resisted, doing only 64 at +1, I don't think Bug Buzz is going to be able to knock out. It might knock out from this range, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it would do close to 20 to 35%. I'm not calculating it. I refuse to calc it. Anyways, yeah, I don't think Andy risked it. I think an extra round of toxic damage, yeah, I think an extra round of toxic damage was best there. As opposed to setting up and potentially having 2 extra, maybe 3 extra rounds of toxic damage. So definitely good plays by both. Corey, knowing that 1 extra round of toxic damage isn't going to save him in this match, so going for the Wish there I think was the best play, and I think that's what he clicked. And the Andy clicking Flamethrower was by far his best play as well, in my opinion. So he brings out the Celesteela here, and I do believe this thing's going to be Ockerberry. Oh, he's just baiting the flamethrower. Very nice. So he's going to try to play around this Volcarona as best he can. And if that's the case, I think click and protect on Florges was the better play on that specific play. So the question is, do you go back into Celesteela here, expecting more of this swapping around here, and expecting that as Andy with the Volcarona here? Do you click Flamethrower again, or do you click Bug Buzz on this turn? I'm going to say that you click Bug Buzz, and you go into the Celesteela. So best case scenario for both players there. And here I believe you have to click Flamethrower, but he actually clicks Roost, which is a fine play as well. Toxic damage, this is toxic thrown off. This isn't like it isn't 6% every turn. It is adding up. And now Volcarona has taken out 2 Pokemon. Yeah, I think the best place for Volcarona is to keep attacking what's in front of him. And yeah, for sure here, just click Bug Buzz. I don't think there's any other play. Bug Buzz is by far the best play. It one-shots everything except maybe Mamoswine. Yeah, able to one-shot the Mega Latios here, or the Mega Latios, excuse me. And Volcarona drops to the poison damage. And that'll be interesting to see what both players bring out from this point and onward. Interesting that after a double down, both players bring out their lead options. And the last time this happened, the Serena threw off a Toxic as the Mienshao U-turned out. Again, U-turning out, this time into the Mega Latios, which is already Toxic, which is a fine play, in my opinion. And now Serena is at a typing disadvantage, but realistically, I don't know if, well, this is Mega Latios, so it does have the breaking capabilities to break through Serena. Outside of that, though, like a defensive Sylveon or a defensive Empoleon, defensive Tyranitar, I don't think they're going to be able to break Serena, and Serena in turn can chip those mons away and break them down. Mamoswine's still looking kind of clean here as well, and Greninja looking very, very powerful with the late game Hydro Pumps, with a Mega Latios being poisoned and having ways to deal with Empoleon. Greninja looks pretty strong here, but again, advantage to Andy because he does have 5 mons to 3. Goes for the Dragonets as well here with his Mega Latios. Able to get to +1 attack and +1 defense. I believe Mamoswine is the only play at this point. I believe you have to go Mamoswine and you have to click Ice Shard because Mega Latios otherwise is way, way too powerful. Clicking Earthquake here is a man's play. Expecting Empoleon to come in on the Ice Shard. So Corey actually pulls a double switch into Serena, which I think is going to be the beginning of the end. I think Serena was the backbone for the squad at this point. I suppose you could synthesis up, but if that Dragon Claw was a roll, then it perhaps could do 51% here. I think Serena is too valuable to risk, and you're better off clicking Ice Shard. So Serena tanked on 1%, but gets flinched. Very, very unfortunate. Yeah, like I said though, Serena was way too risky way too valuable to risk. Way too valuable to risk. He risked it and he was punished for it. Now Greninja's looking very, 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 very potent, as well as Mamoswine. If Mamoswine is a Choice Scarf variant or a Sash variant, looking very, very, very powerful with Earthquakes. With Andy not having any kind of counterplay, like I suppose defensive Sylveon or Shuka, Empoleon. Excuse my yawn. Also, yeah, I think maybe going Empoleon is an actual choke as well, because even with the Shuka Berry, this thing is now put in range of Greninja. And if this is Specs Greninja, well, first of all, Empoleon's not going to be able to knock him out back. And if this is Specs Greninja or Life Orb Greninja with Water Shuriken, then it's looking very, very potent. Or perhaps Expert Belt. Reveals the Gunk Shot, but not okay. Very nice, but was not strong enough to get the damage it needed. Let's see here. Wonder what this. If it was Expert Belt, I don't think it could have knocked out Mienshao, unless the Mienshao was like offensive Mienshao gets blown away by Hydro Pump. Does it get blown away by Surf as well? It does, actually. And that's if it's Splash Play. Let's see if it's Expert Belt. Has a chance to knock out with Expert Belt. So let's see here. So defensive Sylveon. Surf wasn't doing it either. Yeah, Sylveon had that game wrapped. So, really, really unfortunate. Flinch, but I don't think it changed the game, as Serena at best would have gotten a synthesis off and gotten it back to 51% plus leftovers, I think, so 57, close to 60%. It wouldn't have been able to take on Empoleon, Tyranitar, Mienshao, and Sylveon. But yeah, it's going to be a good game. Let me know what you guys thought about the prep and plays on both sides of the field of these two fine gentlemen. I'm not sure exactly what the playoff race is or what contenders are looking like right now. But let's check on that. So Corey and Andy are actually both have very, very tough starts to the season. Both players being relatively low, 11th and 12th on the standings right now. So both players in desperate need of a win. Andy more so with only having one win prior to this match, but now he's got two. So him and Corey actually have that win put Andy right above Corey in terms of having a tied record and just a little bit better differential. Andy at -5 differential and Corey at -14 differential now. So both players were very much in desperate need of wins. And let's check out who both players are playing in Week 7. So we've got Andy facing off against Ginger, and we've got Corey facing off against Curtis. So both players, again, in desperate need of wins. Both players could theoretically win out and make playoffs with 7 wins in a row, I believe, potentially. So they would finish like 9-4 or so, which I think is playoff worthy. I think 9-4 would be a good finish for teams that start 1-4 for sure. But right now, the middle of the pack, most of the teams have around 2 or 3 losses, with at most players having 4 losses maximum. And then there's only 2 players with only 1 loss, being Rio and Sol. So looking forward to playing those guys later on. Looking forward to catching more games. Let me know what you guys thought about the correct plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.